So for this deep dive, we're looking at something that feels like it's straight out of science fiction. We're talking about what happens when an MMORPG stops using, those simple canned scripts for its characters.
And instead incorporates some really advanced large language models.
Exactly. We're focused on the JusticeGPT generative agent model. It's the engine behind the MMO Sword of Justice, which some of you might know as Nishui Han.
Right, and our mission here is to really unpack how this system changes a game from what we call a static stage, something governed by the tyranny of the finite state machine,
into a breathing world. That's the term they use, and it fits. You're basically doing social engineering inside a digital society now.
That's the perfect way to put it.
Okay, so let's start with memory. In older games, NPCs had, total amnesia. You could insult a shopkeeper, walk out, walk back in, and it's like nothing happened. How does this world actually remember?
It's all about the architecture. When you type something, the system doesn't just read the words. It uses semantic analysis to get the intent and the tone.
Okay, so it knows if you're being sarcastic or sincere?
Precisely. And it cross-references that input against the NPC's memory log, their history with you, and their core personality matrix. Think of the matrix as a filter that decides if a memory is important enough to keep.
And that's where the butterfly effect comes from.
That's it.
So what's the actual mechanic? How does that memory get surfaced right when it matters?
It uses a concept called retrieval augmented generation, or RG. When you approach an NPC, the system instantly pulls up their entire diary about you. Every insult, every little favor.
And injects that right into the current conversation.
Injects it directly into the context. So the AI isn't just talking to you, it's talking to you based on your shared history. A thoughtless remark you made to a beggar 2 hours ago isn't forgotten.
It's not trivial anymore. That negative sentiment can actually spread through the network.
Absolutely. It poisons your reputational vector, and that can lock you out of a hidden quest line later on. You basically failed a social discipline test, and the game is now enforcing that.
Okay, so if words can punish you, they can also give you an edge. This feels like we're moving into linguistic hacking. Conversation as a weapon.
It is, 100%.
Yeah.
The JusticeGPT is what they call lore-locked. It was trained very heavily on classic Wuxia literature.
So things like face, filial piety, those aren't just story themes, they're system variables.
Exactly. The Wuxia protocol means you have to adopt the right language. Using honorifics, saying, this humble one, that's not just role-playing, it's optimization.
And if you type all, or call an NPC a noob,
the AI just flags it as gibberish or madness. It literally can't process it within its framework. It's a system that mechanically rewards you for staying in character.
I've heard players talking about something called parenthetical control. Is it true you can basically feed the AI stage directions?
It is, and it is wild. If you type in action in parentheses like, I pull up my sword, you glare menacingly.
You're telling the AI what's happening.
You're asserting a new ground truth. The LLM accepts it and adjusts the NPC's emotional state, maybe to fear, which can let you bypass a really difficult persuasion check.
Wow. So this brings us to gating gameplay. Faction admission isn't about your stats anymore, it's about your behavior. Like the yearning sect.
That's a perfect example. It's a pure dialogue trap. The NPC doesn't care about your gear. You have to pick conversational options that align with devotion.
And if you don't?
If you choose a shallow option, the NPC literally logs you as shallow and puts you on a long cooldown. You failed the vibe check.
Or the beggar sect, which actually checks your game state.
Right. The AI looks to see if you're wearing tattered robes, if your coin is low. And even then, you have to repeatedly use the begging emote to prove your desperation before the quest even triggers.
So even gifting becomes this test of semantic fit.
Totally. Giving a generic sword to a nature-loving NPC like Yeezy Waking does nothing but give her a firefly or a winter plum blossom.
Items that match her personality matrix.
You get a critical hit, an affinity. It creates a powerful, persistent, positive memory.
So at the end of the day, what this means for you, the player, is that your chat box is now your primary controller. You're feeding data into a reasoning engine.
But, and this is the big strategic takeaway, this kind of generative AI is prone to hallucination.
Ah, the false treasure problem.
Yes, an NPC can describe, in beautiful, convincing detail, the location of a legendary treasure that, that the game engine never actually created. It doesn't exist.
So the final thought is, you have to learn to tell the difference between atmospheric storytelling and an actual actionable gameplay directive.
You have to cross-reference everything. Check the in-game rumor tab. Use the Zhao Yuan meta assistant. Because sometimes the biggest threat isn't a dragon, but the time you'll waste hunting for a treasure that exists only in the AI's imagination.